Welcome, dear listeners, back to another exciting episode of Books and Tea with Katie. I'm Katie, your host, and today we have yet another great book review for you cozy mystery enthusiasts. I promise I'll get to other genres, but right now I'm focused on cozy mystery. I love it. It's one of my first loves. We'll be exploring a charming world called Sandy Cove as we do a review of Deep Fried Deception by Siena Summer, which is the first installment in the Sandy Cove British Mysteries series. So please grab your favorite cup of tea. Today for me, I think it's going to be chai tea. Settle into your comfiest chair and get a nice warm blanket, and let's embark on this journey together. Okay, so first off, I always do the blurb. So let's read this blurb. It starts, murder, mystery, and mayhem. In the idyllic Cornish village of Sandy Cove, Maggie Traylor's life seems picture perfect. She is the assistant of her aunt's charming shop, the Book Nook, where she indulges in her two passions, reading and baking. Maggie revels in the thrilling world of whodunits, as do all the members of the Mystery Book Club. Her complimentary biscuits are a much-loved feature of the Book Nook. The love of her life, a lovable curly cavapoo named Biscuit, makes Maggie's life in Sandy Cove complete. Little did Maggie know she would soon become a character in her own whodunit. When one of Maggie's fellow book club members becomes the prime suspect in a murder, her peaceful life takes an unexpected turn. Encouraged by her impulsive cousin and other book club members, Maggie takes it upon herself to venture into amateur sleuthing. With her cousin Kate and Biscuit by her side, Maggie sets out to uncover some clues that could point to the actual murderer. However, as Maggie gets closer to the truth, she begins to overstep the mark, treading dangerously close to getting on the wrong side of the law. Can she work out who the actual killer is and clear her friend's name? Can she keep on the right side of the law? Find out as Maggie, with her keen eye for detail and her determination for justice, seeks to solve this intriguing mystery. There you have it, the blurb. Love it, love it. Deep Fried Deception is brilliant, first and foremost. Imagine a picturesque Cornish village called Sandy Cove. Life is like idyllic. We have our protagonist, Maggie Traylor. She's assisting in her aunt's quaint shop, the Book Nook, love it, indulging in her passions for reading and, of course, baking, because she sees herself as like this up-and-coming baker. She wants to become this up-and-coming baker, and she's very unsure about that skill, let's just say. Maggie's lovable cavapoo, Biscuit, yes, Biscuit, love that name, adds an extra little like sparkle to the reader's life and obviously Maggie's life in the book. So when a fellow book club member, becomes this prime suspect in a murder, she, her tranquil existence of a life is like turned on a dime, and then of course it plunges her into the role of amateur sleuth. Okay, so Siena Summer, the author, paints a beautiful picture. She writes brilliantly. This is a great book to read. I absolutely love it. If you haven't read it, please do. She writes so beautifully. We've got serene landscapes of Sandy Cove. This is not purple prose. This is exquisite writing at its best. It immerses us into this coastal town. We've got detailed descriptions of this village, from cobblestone streets, salty sea air, vivid backdrop, right, that enhances the story. And she creates her characters, and just everything about it is just beautifully done. We have the Book Nook. Like I said, I love that name for a bookshop. It becomes a haven not just for the characters, but as a reader too. Like I find myself wanting to be there. I find myself wanting to jump into the book and actually live in this town. And so she does transport the reader. It's a well done book, and I absolutely enjoyed it. And I can't wait to read the rest of these books. And I hope she writes fast too. She does have extra books out there, so don't worry about that. So starting with like these lovable characters. So we have at the heart of deep fried deception, which again, I love that deep fried. I actually like deep fried stuff. I know it's bad for my health, but I really do. So I love this title. Lies in its rich character development. I mean, Maggie Traylor is a relatable person. She's our protagonist. She is curious, she's determined, and this drives the narrative of the story and the plot. And yet she's unsure of herself, really. I mean, she wants to be this, this baker, and her dog's name is Biscuit, and she makes these wonderful concoctions, these wonderful biscuits, and she's just unsure of herself. And so this is a fault of hers, right? So we have this wonderful kind of brilliantly crafted character that is very identifiable. Like, I can see myself in this person. Sometimes, I think we've all been kind of unsure of ourselves, especially when we're younger, and she wants to do something so badly, and yet she doesn't believe in herself enough, and I can definitely relate to that. She has a cousin named Kate who's extremely vivacious. She has a very dynamic flair, and she takes on the role of a housekeeper at this widow's posh residence in Sandy Cove to kind of investigate. And this camaraderie between these cousins and their contrasting personalities adds like a ton of humor to the story, but it also adds to the plot. So it makes it a deeper plot. And then we have the introduction of this handsome detective named Tom. And it's a great other layer to the story because he's very reserved in nature, and we have that juxtaposed next to Maggie's inquisitiveness, although she's kind of quiet, and she's not as vivacious, I would say, as obviously as Kate. Now Kate, her cousin, is 4 years younger than she is, and Maggie's she's 27, I believe. And so Kate's younger, she's, willing to take risks and stuff. She's kind of like this bohemian, and she's a beauty. She's just drop dead gorgeous from what it sounds like. And so Maggie's kind of lived in her shadow and been okay with it. Kate's a very, very supportive of Maggie. And so you do like Kate in this, like you really love Kate. And I could see a spinoff series with Kate actually in this. So if you're listening, the author, Siena, if you're listening, perhaps a spinoff series would be good for Kate. Hint, hint, wink, wink. But because she's a great character on her own, so I could see like a spinoff series here. But they support each other. But with Tom, it adds an element here. So he's very secure. He's very sure of himself, and this kind of new chief of police. And then you've got Maggie's quiet inquisitiveness. There's a subtle romantic tension that builds, at least for me. And I love this in Cozy Mystery. I love that subplot of romance. Love it, love it, love it. And then we've got the fact that her cousin's own father is the retired chief of police. So we have another dimension. So this plot is like really layered, but you wouldn't know it. Like it just reads smoothly and beautifully. Okay, so we've got a ton of blending of personal ties, and then we have this unfolding mystery, this unfolding murder. Okay, so the plot and the pacing. It's very well crafted, as I've said. You have a ton of clues, you have red herrings, and it does keep you guessing until the very, very end. So it's well paced, well balanced. We have a lot of character development in this entire book, so it's not like wham and done. So we have a lot of suspense, which is obviously important to a compelling murder mystery. And then we have this wonderful inclusion of Biscuit, this loyal cavapoo, and it makes me want to go out and get a cavapoo, or at least hug on a cavapoo for like hours on end. Biscuit, you could just see Biscuit with the descriptions. I can like close my eyes and see Biscuit. And just a lovely addition to this beautifully crafted piece of art is what I call it. But it also, Biscuit plays like this pivotal role in the investigation because Biscuit is always there with Maggie. It's like this lovable dog, and it can lighten the tension in more tense moments. And it just love it. I love having animals in these murder mysteries. It showcases that bond, right, between humans and like their furry companions. And if you read this, which I highly encourage you to do, you'll fall in love with the cavapoo too. Okay, so you've heard how I feel about this. I'm raving about it. I love this book. Current reviews and reception, So one person said, this is a great read with an engaging plot and very interesting characters. I kept coming back to the book to see what would happen next. I'm looking forward to reading the next one. And then, again, so Deep Fried Deception, it's garnered many positive reviews. 67 on Amazon that I saw, at least as of the recording of this, from readers who appreciate this blend of mystery, charm, and of course the culinary delights. One other reviewer said fans of the TV series Doc Martin and Midsummer Murders will find much to like in Deep Fried Deception by Siena Summer, a well-written, light-hearted novel of the murder mystery genre set in a quaint seaside village in Cornwall. And yet another reader mentions Maggie and her doodle biscuit are in the team with her cousin Kate to solve the murder of a not-so-liked man who died in a fish and chip pub from deep fried fish and chips. The three meet the new detective Tom and his new partner Matthew and work behind the scenes and a step ahead of the police on the job. And then we have another review that says, this is a wonderful story that soon had me hooked on the Whodunit theme. The credible characters enticed me into their ways and endeavors to find the culprit of the heinous crime, all set in the quaint seaside village in Cornwall where they lived. It was a joy to read and an ending that I couldn't have imagined. Well worth the read, and I can't wait to discover what they all do in the next story. These reviews obviously highlight the book's appeal to fans of cozy mystery set in like these charming locales, British cozy mysteries, with engaging characters and obviously these good plots, intricate plots. Okay, so I did mention that she has other works out. She does. She's continued on in the Sandy Cove British Mysteries series. So following Deep Fried Deception, we have Vanishing Vows, which was released, I believe, last year. It says Maggie and Kate basically delve into the mystery of a disappearing bride. Ooh, that sounds neat. And they uncover secrets that challenge their perceptions of love and commitment. Then we have Murder and Mistletoe, also last year released, set against the backdrop of a festive Sandy Cove. This installment brings holiday cheer intertwined with a chilling murder mystery. We have The Deadly Dig. I believe that was released in February. It's an archaeological excavation in Sandy Cove and another murder mystery, so historical secrets and present dangers. And then we have a pre-order. So pre-order now, Mermaids and Murder. Ooh, so local legends about mermaids got a sinister turn when a body shows up, right? So you don't just have one, in the series. And so again, if you like to binge, this is definitely a bingeable series where each book will build upon the last, and then you get to go back into Sandy Cove and deepen your connection to the inhabitants and kind of live inside the book. Character dynamics and development. One of the standout aspects of Deep Fried Deception is this evolving relationship between Maggie and Detective Tom. So again, I love romance subplots, and this really hooked me in. Their interactions, they have like subtle flirtations, mutual respect, and then of course tension. There's a lot of tension actually between them, like the things that Maggie does and then kind of maybe regrets down the road gets her kind of into trouble with him. And it's good. I mean, it shows that relationships aren't just all perfect from the start and everything else. So I really like this dynamic and how it's developing. It lays the groundwork though for this like potential romance and feature installments, which is why I want to read the next book immediately. It adds emotional layers to this narrative. It engages readers and then invests you in the personal lives of these characters, and as well as the mystery in solving this murder mystery. So it's kind of equal here, which is also very difficult to do as an author, and this is done brilliantly. Kate's role as an undercover housekeeper at the widow's residence showcases her resourcefulness and this willingness to kind of put herself into danger. Again, I think this character could have a separate series all on her own. She can hold her own. She's dynamic, and that with Maggie's kind of quiet reassurance and strength, this familial bonds and stuff, this power of collaboration and uncovering the truth is a great addition to this book. We have culinary delights. So Siena Summer puts in these like vivid descriptions of these biscuits that Maggie's making, and it makes my mouth water just to think of them. I did not see any recipes in the back, and I may have missed them because I was in such a hurry to get to this podcast. But so Siena, if you're listening to this, please, if you have them and they're not in the book, please send me some, please. Send me some recipes if you have them. I think this would be great to make because I would just love to make some of these like concoctions that Maggie came up with. It's a wonderful addition in this book, and it keeps you reading and to find out more about what she's cooking next. And there is something in there about like how Maggie has to figure out, and she's like challenged to figure out this other person's what they like the most, like what's their favorite type of biscuit. And so that's a nice addition to the book too. But anyway, so Siena, if you're listening, please send me some recipes. So in conclusion, Deep Fried Deception, it's a wonderful book, and it's great. It's a great series, I'm sure, and I can't wait to read the next. It offers suspense, charm, and then of course the culinary delights. Siena's ability to kind of like craft these vivid scenes without going over the top. You got lovable characters, you got intricate plots, you've got guessing until the end. You're just entertained. It's well paced. You won't regret reading this book. So for those seeking cozy mystery, a British cozy mystery, so quaint English town filled with intrigue and culinary delights, and of course a cavapoo named Biscuit. Come on, that's great. It's a definite must read. Deep Fried Deception. And so once you get past that, go on to our next ones, okay? Because we've got more adventures waiting with Maggie, Kate, and the residents of Sandy Cove. They're just waiting to be read. So let's get this book and this woman some more reviews, please. She's got 67 on Amazon, and she needs more. She needs more. So let's go to wherever you want, because you can go to Barnes and Noble, you can go to Apple, you can go to Kobo. You just go and give this, read this book first and foremost, and give an honest review. I guarantee you're gonna love it. Even if it's just a star rating and you don't want to write anything out, that helps the author, because the more we give our favorite authors reviews for their great books and their time and effort, blood, sweat, and tears, the more we can get books from this author in the future. So please support your fellow authors. Thank you for joining me on this episode of Books and Tea with KD. I hope this review has piqued your interest and added a new title to your reading list. Until next time, happy reading, and may your tea be ever warm.